Hello and welcome to the April 2019 layout update from the Trent Valley Railway. In this update, we look at improvements to the lighting on the layout. And there we go, that lights up a considerable amount better over the top part. I have problems with my track plan. Comes through there, underneath the baseboard. That means that I won't be able to get a point motor underneath this point. And there's progress on the Fiddle yard, a 5-car Voyager and the Class 350 sat in the sidings in the middle. Before we start the April 2019 update, just want to say a huge thank you and welcome to all those new subscribers to the channel. Hope you enjoyed the previous March update and also the model railway exhibitions that I've put on the channel more recently. Now let's get stuck into what I've been up to over the past month. I've been having a look at the lighting, which was the LED lighting that I put in the Fiddle yard area, and this is with the LED lighting with the strip lights that you see off the roll there, with them off. And if I just turn them on, that's then the LED strip lighting with the LEDs turned on there, which gave quite a good light towards the back and underneath there, and they were a cool white, but I wasn't quite satisfied about how then the top half for the inclines that pass over the top of the Fiddle yard looked. So I've looked to see if there's anything else that I could do to make this better. What I will say is if you do have a problem with flashing lights, then please be careful in this next part of the video, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn those LEDs off and I'm going to put on the new LED strip bars that I've put in. And there we go, that lights up a considerable amount better over the top part, but I've now got a bit of a problem with lighting up the bottom part. So I'm quite happy with the new LED lighting, the strip bars that I've got. I think the next part is just to have a look at where best to put them so that all the light goes across both levels, the Fiddle yard and then the inclines. So I've had a rethink on the positioning of the LED strip bars. You might notice underneath the baseboard above now, the positioning of the battens have been moved so that they are the opposite way round, and this is with the light off. So if we just turn the light on, and there we go, what a difference that makes now. So what I've actually done is I've positioned them on the sort of facing edge, so right at the top of the screen here, pointing inwards, and this has lit up all of the Fiddle yard at the front and mostly towards the back as well as the inclines. So I'll have a look at this from looking down from the top now. On the right hand side is where that LED strip bar has now been installed. As I said, it's on the sort of facing edge of the Fiddle yard there on the front, pointing inwards, and you can see the light emission from that is very, very good. So I'm very happy with how that's progressed, and now it's time to start getting on with some of the track laying around the layout. To begin with, I'm going to start from the bottom of the inclines. So each of the inclines will have 2 tracks. So this is going to start at the back here, and what we'll do is we'll start off those 2 tracks coming down the incline, and I'm going to have a look at the track layout that is required as it goes down towards the garage door there, and then comes around towards the right hand corner as it crosses across the removable section. As these lines come around on this side here, they'll then come up towards the removable section piece on the right hand side, and this is then where I've now had to rework the track layout so that there's a point in the middle there, and that will combine the two sidings which will now sit in the middle. So what I now need to do here is basically put the concrete sleeper at the very back, so you'll have the running lines on the outside with the sidings in the middle. The next stage here now is, now that I've got this sorted on this side, is to check it works as well with the removable section, and once that's all okay, I can then start to actually cut down these track pieces to the right sizes and start to lay things out in their correct positions. Here is a view of the removable baseboard section with the previous track plan. This is upside down, and the reason for that will become clear in a minute, but you've got effectively 5 lines that were going to come off the one side and 5 lines off the other, with a whole load of point work in the middle. And because of the changes I've had to make to avoid the baseboards underneath and the beams, this has also had to change. With the change to those fiddle yard sidings there on the left that are off the screen, there is now a 3-way point that has been put in on the removable baseboard, and that then leads to 2 of the running lines, one being the main running line and one being a siding, and then there's another line that then runs off towards another part of the fiddle yard, which will be on the bottom level of the layout. At the very back there is then another point which then splits out and takes the running lines in the opposite direction from the 2 sidings back into one, and then sort of splits back out before it then will approach the other side of the layout. But what we'll do now is we'll go and take a look around the corner over there and see the progress that's been made on this first section of the fiddle yard on the lower level of the layout. What you'll first of all notice again is it's changed once again. So the reason for this is because as I've worked my way down here in this area of the fiddle yard, what I've done is I've actually designed the siding that goes around there and down to the very bottom to be specifically for the length of a London Midland Class 350. So in that sort of running line at the back there, which has the concrete sleepers, the turnout and the point has been put there now at the very back, and that means it's out of the way of the beams underneath the baseboard. That means I can put in a point motor underneath for that point, and all of this at the back there is then also pinned down and has been designed to house that London Midland Class 350 and the point work for where that loop joins back onto the main running line is at the other end by the garage, which we'll take a look at in a minute. In this area by the garage door, we've got the removable section which joins the main framework and baseboards, and then as it comes around there is that point at the very back which then splits out from the running line to join the siding for the Class 350. Also here then is the other running lines which I need to do and sort out for the rest of the fiddle yard area here, with the concrete running line, the siding in the middle, and the line that then goes off towards some more fiddle yard area. And now that I've sorted out that first siding off the main line in that direction, you'll notice that I've got some track which I've already wired up ready to go, and this then needs to be put down onto the baseboard itself, and I'll do that now to make sure that this siding is also ready for use. The 2 lines at the very bottom then are where the incline then begins, so I've moved the point here on the far right off the incline so that it's all flat and on the same level gradient, and then the one on the right hand side of the sidings will be home to a Voyager 5 car, and as you saw earlier, the one on the left will be home to the London Midland Class 350. So each of these sidings has been designed to accommodate those rolling stock. We'll now have a look at those 2 trains in the sidings. We have the first two trains then in the fiddle yard on the lower level of the baseboard. First of all, there's the Voyager, which is a 5-car Virgin Voyager there, and a 4-car London Midland Class 350. So both of those two are sat on the sidings in the middle with the running lines on the outside, and then there's a point at the very end there by the garage door which connects the Class 350 siding to the running line. And then I mentioned earlier that there's a 3-way point that then branches out into the Voyager line, the running line which you can't see because that's just between the Voyager and the incline, and then also this line here where the Network Rail measurement train coach is sat, that comes into this area along the front of this baseboard on this side of the garage. That will be an area where there will be lots of Network Rail trains stored in another fiddle yard area. So all of this side is now complete. At the moment there's no power to it. That's one of the next sort of major jobs eventually, is to get underneath the baseboard and power up all of these lines, and also put in the point motors, particularly for operation of the frogs. So until those frogs are made live with the relevant power needed, then I can't operate any trains. So hopefully in the next update there will be some trains running, but for the time being, hope you enjoyed this update. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I hope you look forward to the future updates and progress in the May 2019 layout update. Cheers.